from a professional perspective, is that audio enough to where arrest could have been made, even off a suspicion of what we were thinking we were hearing? Is that enough?
Coupled with other things, I think it's enough for an arrest warrant to be made at this time. I would feel comfortable knowing all the things that I know. If the law enforcement presented me a certain name or names of people that they wanted to be arrested for certain crimes, and they laid it all out as I've understood it from the publicly disclosed information, I would not have a problem at this point signing arrest warrant or arrest warrants.
And then what happens if we got it wrong? It's just, is there like any repercussions from that person? I mean, what's the risk of just locking somebody up off the conditions that you just mentioned?
It happens all the time. I mean, there's no real risk, no repercussions to the judge or the prosecutor. The law enforcement, they do their job and they do the best they can. The judge would have found probable cause to sign the arrest warrant. Judges have judicial immunity, so you can't be sued or successfully for signing an arrest warrant. So there's no risk to the judge. Most prosecutors have prosecutorial immunity. So, I mean, they do it all the time. Law enforcement has qualified immunity. And so what we do know is had the roles been reversed, the black guys that came back to land would have probably been arrested within 24 hours.
Of course. You know, one thing that you kind of led with that I think a lot of people heard or felt and appreciated was you calling out how things were not moving according to how they normally would, with a potential cover-up from a local law enforcement level. Don't know if you can say that, but ideally, do you think a cover-up was taking place at some point along the way?
I believe there are a lot of suspicious things that have occurred in this case from the very beginning. Since Nolan went missing, Ashley Cole, by her own admission, deactivated her Facebook account or her social media accounts. She says it was because of she wanted to protect her young children, but who was threatening? We
didn't even know you, I think, at that point of story.
Yeah, so on July the 4th, no one had in mind about threatening her children. So why would you assume that they would have been threatened just because someone allegedly drowned on Horn Island? That's not a safe assumption. It had to be something more to it. And for those boys to lawyer up, they have a right to lawyer up, but as I told someone, if my family member came to me about something that happened on Horn Island and recounted it to me, as a lawyer, a trained lawyer, I'm going to listen to the facts. I'm not going to advise them to lawyer up if I don't think they've committed a crime. You only advise someone to lawyer up if they've potentially committed a crime. If you just was a witness to somebody drowning, you can be a witness and testify and recount that freely with no risk of going to prison. So that tells me that something may have gone awry there that could have had some criminal culpability for one or more persons for them, if it's true that those boys lawyered up on July the 4th, July the 5th. And then for the boys to eat together, be seen together on July the 5th, eating breakfast at a restaurant instead of being out there with people searching for their friend or best friend, that's not normal circumstances. I mean, if any of my boys were missing and I was one of the last ones to be seen with them, I'm going to be out there with the family trying to show them where we were hanging out or where we were and trying to help find them. I'm not going to be having breakfast at IHOP or Waffle House or anywhere else for that matter.
I wonder how much is that of them being guilty of something or just showing their true colors of maybe how they felt about him, you know?
I don't understand. I mean, instead of going to the funeral, I believe Warren was talking to Officer Tatum on the day of the funeral, being interviewed, and he allegedly was still calling him his best friend. So I don't see how you could not be concerned about your best friend and not out there trying to find him. And I also don't understand why the father said he couldn't find a boat the night of. He says that he didn't have friends with boats, but if your son had friends with boats, they should have gone back out that same night at midnight and started searching for the guy. They didn't offer the boats that night. I'm understanding that they were sending the boat at 3 a.m.
That kind of broke me. Yeah. It kind of hurt a little bit to be like, I would have went out, but I ain't got no friends with boats.
Correct. And so, but you know, your son had friends with boats because he was out there. That's how he got out there on a boat. So
but dad already was not rocking with him based off how he had to get the keys and all that. He said that in multiple interviews. Once you kind of show me that, you know, you can't be trusted, you seem like you're lying, then why do you think no one has been at least apprehended under suspicion at least? Everyone's getting interviews, but no one's really.
Yeah, I just think it's because In Mississippi, a lot of the times race plays a factor, and then a lot of times your socioeconomic status based on who you are, your parents are. And we have some very prominent people, at least appearance wise. I believe there may be a dentist and an emergency room doctor, a pain doctor, a judge. And so the parents of some of these boys that were last seen with Nolan, his alleged friends, are pretty powerful or influential or relatively wealthy individuals in that county.
Now, one of the theories that I have in terms of Nolan's passing, I assume that he might have been pushed off of a boat. That feels like that can be able to fill in the gap that no one's seen what happened, because he was like out on the water. He wasn't on the shore where everybody was at, and he was pushed off the boat. How is that possible to prove in that case that someone was pushed off a boat? Is it possible?
You would need witness testimony. Someone would have to testify that they saw someone push them off. And that's why I've always had this question. If he drowned, who saw him get into the water? How did he get into the water? Even the pathologist that did the second autopsy says the way he got into the water is going to be very important. Did he voluntarily get in there? Was he forced against his will? Was he pushed accidentally? Was he pushed on purpose? All of that will come into play on the cause and manner of death. And so, but someone knows something, and it's going to take someone to tell. Unless there's some video or audio, it's going to take someone's honest recitation of what happened.
Want to watch the full interview? Well, it's available now to all Hype Plus YouTube members. Cancel anytime. Hit join below to check out full interviews like this. This is for those who want more unfiltered news.